Is that eyeballs at the top of the arch?
It is. It's a character, yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. Does the character have a name?
It does not, but...
Does it need a name?
It's the first print of this character.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a reoccurring thing, maybe it can be revisited, but as of now, just the arch. We call him Archie. Let's call him Archie.
Archie?
Let's call him Archie.
All right, easy enough.
Yeah.
Archie might, maybe some T-Rex arms?
Apparently no arms on Archie. Just shoes.
He's got shoes.
That's all he needs.
And apparently he doesn't need to tie his laces either.
No, that's how
nobody does. Look, check me out.
Yeah, but see, I got mine all done.
Yeah, yours look kind of long too.
Yeah.
You could probably go up another roto, but it's still gonna be pretty long.
I don't want it
You're doing the right thing.
that tight around there.
Yeah, you're doing the right thing. You like a little loose around that.
And I went with the
Around that,
original
little freedom around the ankle.
maroon laces. Although it did
What
come
was
with
the
a
other color?
pair of white
White
ones, yeah.
I like the blue.
I do too. I like the way the leather is sort of wearing in. I drive a standard, so I'm constantly moving the feet like that.
All you need is a magic eraser. Well, you already got the restore gun.
I got the restore gun, yeah.
Restore gun.
But a magic eraser would work as well.
Mm-hmm.
Have you found, do you wear
Did they
gloves?
give you one in the box?
I'll have to check the box. I don't know if there was one in there or not. But I found that magic erasers, when I handle them, they make my fingertips a little numb.
The standard school kind or the
Mr. Clean.
that one?
Yeah.
So
Have
said
you
they do what?
encountered that at all?
I haven't tripped off of that. I'm gonna have to
Okay.
pay attention next time I use it.
Yeah, now when I do the magic eraser, I want to make sure I got gloves on, just to make sure, because that's, porous skin, chemicals going right in. I don't know what's allowing the paint to come off the wall.
Right. Oh, that's a good point. I'm gonna definitely probably take that advice.
It's like too when you buy new clothes off the rack.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to want to wash them.
Right.
Because if it's like at a Macy's or a big box store, they spray those things to make them look shinier. So it's more attractive for you to want to buy it.
Wow, I did not know they were scheming like that.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Wow. I haven't went to the mall or nothing like that. I usually wear local clothes or my own stuff.
Yeah, I had a guy at Macy's tell me that. He's like, make sure you wash that shirt. So from that day on, whenever I get new clothes, go home and wash it.
So it keep the shirts and stuff brighter and the colors
Mm-hmm.
vibrant and stuff like that.
Yeah. What do you say we start the show, huh?
Let's start.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is El Jefe. I am your host for Season 2, Episode 11 of The Fields. With me today is the co-owner of Hustle City, Embleu. Embleu, thank you so much for being on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me.
Before we get to the questions, we're going to get to a little bit of news. All right. I would like to thank Team Robust for the awesome product launch this Saturday past. California Raisins, Chanel 5, Dracarys, Finish Frost, and Purple Gorilla knocked our collective socks off. So to the boys and girls down in Cuba, mwah, que bella. Check them out on socials at robust_cannabis. I also want to thank all of the patients that came by Saturday. Because of you, we were able to sell 1.5 pounds of robust cannabis. No surprise that California Raisins was the top seller at 29.38% THC and 3% terpenes. It's easy to see why. Now the 4th of July is right around the corner. Field State Florissant will be open from 10 until 2 for all your celebratory and medicinal needs. And the 4th is close by, so then 710 is also close by. Keep an eye to social media for details. And now I can release the results of the long-awaited pin guessing contest. It was 109 in the container, and we had a 4-way tie. Jessica P, Jessica F, Stacy L, and Alicia N. You are all going home with a full swag kit. That's going to be a hoodie, a t-shirt, socks, and those pins you were guessing on. All right. Let's get to the interview. Embleu, welcome, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing, and I got to say this, you smell good.
No.
You came in, I don't know what scent you're wearing, but I just got to get that out there. The gentleman smells nice, ladies. All right. How did Hustle City originate?
On a whim, believe it or not. I'm the only one within Hustle City that primarily focuses on fashion. But like ever since we were younger, like my other friends, my brothers, they work on music, and we always use our platforms together to kind of elevate whatever we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So space became available within Tech Artista.
Tech Artista?
It's a co-working space within our space was in the Grove.
Okay.
It actually was a church in the basement in the Grove, so we turned that studio space into a store space on 314 Day 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the birth of Hustle City.
Okay. Who is collectively Hustle City?
Myself, Embleu, Tristan Gaither, A-Game, and MC Trey, and Shorty.
Tristan,
Or
A-Game, Shorty, and the fourth was?
Tristan,
A-Game, Shorty.
But we also are partnered with Sanction, which is Jared and Chase, so they're part of Hustle City as well.
Okay, so it's a pretty large collective.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys keep track of everything that's going on?
After I get done with this interview, I'll be having a meeting with them tonight. So we have weekly meetings and stuff like that, and stay up to date on everything and just communicate throughout the week.
Okay, so you're the only one in the group though that's focused on fashion.
Yep.
Okay. Who gives you inspiration?
It's not really a who, it's more like a collection of things. It could be music, musical concepts that I hear that I can turn into art, into clothing, or graphics.
So you listen to a song, do you get an image in your head and then say, I gotta write that down?
Something like that. So yeah, if something clicks, I would start on that and just leave it for later. So that create a concept. My peers, other artists around the city, it's a lot of other talented designers in our city. And just started studying art. Period. So like it's more like everyday life. You might inspire me by the end of this conversation. We'll see. So,
Who are some of the artists that you were talking about just then in the city then that we should be paying attention to?
You should be paying attention to Poser Company. He actually designed this shirt that we did as a collaboration between us and Hustle City, himself and Hustle City. You have Don't Triad, who's rebranding. You have Worthy Brand. It's a lot of people. We have 26 designers within our store, so I can go down a long list. Why Pray For Me? Did I say Mahimi Carter already? If I didn't, Mahimi Carter, it's so many, I don't want to forget everybody. Anybody I did name, just come down to the store. You'll see plenty of examples of other St. Louis designers you should pay attention to.
So is there one collective place where these 26 artists all have their work shown?
Yes, within our store.
Within the store?
Mm-hmm. Within City Foundry. If you haven't been to City Foundry, you should definitely check it out. Fairly new. We've been open since November.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, given that you guys are in St. Louis and your name, how much of a French influence makes it into your art and fashion?
A lot in the beginning. I would probably put the French flag, or I would use the St. Louis flag with the fleur-de-lis on it. I might end up using it again soon, but I've used it sporadically here and there just to draw that connection, because that's how I wanted. That was what inspired the spelling behind my brand.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked it in every now and then just so people can kind of make the connection that I wanted, that French connection. So I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yeah. What do you look for when you're selecting a fabric? Do you work exclusively in t-shirts? Let's start there.
No. Pretty much my favorite things to create are outwear for the fall, like bomber jackets. I made a puffer coat last winter. I'm working on the Letterman for this fall. So those are my favorite things to create with. But something that I typically like to mix into my clothing is reflective material.
Reflective material.
Yeah, so that's something I like to try to use with little details any chance I get.
Is that just to make it pop, or is that more for like a safety?
Both. It's kind of like I like it so much, so I kind of abuse it, but I'm kind of okay with if I'm known for using reflective a lot, I'll be okay with that.
Okay. What, well, besides cloth, is there a medium that you enjoy working in?
I think even if I wasn't doing fashion, I was into shoes too, but even if it wasn't something creatively, I was always kind of interested in, or been known for wanting to be an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So it would have been owning another company or doing something else, but I would have been pursuing entrepreneurship. in some degree.
Are there any preneurs that you'd like to highlight that you've had so far?
Not necessarily. We have started a freight brokerage, but that is kind of taking a backseat for the time being. But that's something I'm interested in revisiting at some point.
Freight brokerage, helping people ship things across the country. My cousin's middle child just graduated college, and that's exactly what he is doing, and he's absolutely loving it.
Right?
Just moving the pieces around the board and helping people out.
Yeah, so that's something I'll be interested in getting back to at some point.
Nice. What would you say are the top 5 things about St. Louis?
The art scene, I think, is growing. I think it's picking up a lot of awareness and a lot of appreciation around the city. The music scene, the food scene. I think we got a lot of good restaurants here, a lot of good local restaurants here. Those are my top 3 off the top of my head. Our sports teams, of course. I love sports, so I got to throw in for the Cardinals and Blues. I do miss my Rams, and I still am a Rams fan, so don't be mad at me too bad. I don't like Kroenke, but my Rams are still my Rams. What's that 4 for you?
That's 4.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna throw y'all in there. I'm interested in our partnership coming up with the collab between Hustle City and Field State.
Nice. Let's go off comments or off questions here and talk about that. What do we got in store for this collaboration?
So we got a lot of so we call it a Field State swag, but we just did a basic tee for you guys just to get you started. But pretty soon we'll be designing a bunch of things. You can see like collaborations like this and stuff like that, or incorporating Hustle City and Field State together and introducing Field State to the fashion side of the scene.
Okay, so are we talking t-shirts or are we talking?
No, we'll be talking way more than t-shirts. We'll be talking about outwear, because everything we do will be cut and sew, so we have full control of every garment. So it'll be a lot of creative things we can do.
Something for a middle-aged man to wear?
You can wear it too.
All right. Because I feel about 10 years.
You already got the shoes. You already got the shoes, so you can definitely wear what I'm talking about.
All right, good. Now, are there any St. Louis idiosyncrasies? Something that only, because I'm a New England transplant, so I'm still learning about the city. What can you tell me about St. Louis that only a St. Louisian would know?
Okay, so you had Chinese food here?
No, maybe.
Yeah, so you wouldn't think of St. Louis and think Chinese food, right?
No.
We have the best Chinese food in the country.
Okay. Is that because there's a large Chinese population?
I don't think it's just that though. It's just something different about it. It's more like the fast food Chinese, right? But it's fried rice and stuff like that. But it's not like any other fried rice you can get around the country, and nothing with those peas and carrots. It's different, and we're gonna get you some fried rice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else besides Chinese
Anything
food?
else? We have Chinese food. Well, I think like I mentioned earlier, just on a more general level, that the art scene and the music scene, just the buzz around St. Louis in general, I think it's under the radar city, and I think it's a lot of creative people within the city, and I think pretty soon we won't be a city that you can just fly over. So I think a lot more people would be interested in what we got going on. So.
Well, people seem pretty interested in the cannabis scene in St. Louis. Does St. Louis have a cannabis past at all?
Not that I'm aware of. So you would probably have to educate me on that. So.
Okay, so we're going to build a cannabis past, but we're in the present now. When we get to the future, what we've built will be the past.
It would be the past. So it's beginning.
Yes. All right. That was a little stoner right there. All right. Where does cannabis fit into your life?
Well, I can't remember the last time I designed and I wasn't at least had some type of cannabis within my creative process. And really it's not necessarily to spark ideas, but it's just more of my comfort zone. Just a relaxed state, just where I can zone in and focus on myself, and that be the only thing that matters at the time when I'm creating. And in the beginning, I did have a lot of cannabis concept designs.
Tell me about those.
They just were just little ways to incorporate them. It was just something that at the time, like after I like in college days, that's kind of when I was introduced into cannabis, and that was kind of something that was just, I don't know, it was nothing that ever put me out of control. So I thought it was like a relaxing thing. It just became a part of my daily, and a lot of my family is kind of, cannabis, was introduced to cannabis too. So it was never like a negative thing within my household. So, but it just became a part of my life naturally, and it's just a part of my creative process, and that's pretty much the gist.
Do you have a preferred consumption method?
I like to roll up, just because it's the more of the action of smoking. Like I said, it all comes back to a relaxed thing. It's a controlled thing. It's a
ritualistic thing.
Maybe you could probably say that. You could say that. I'm not gonna, because I'm into all type of arts and films and shows and stuff like that. So if I'm gonna enjoy one of my shows, I'm probably gonna smoke to it, and that'll be kind of like my thing, my little chill thing. So that's kind of how it's within my life.
What's your favorite kind of cannabis?
I like pretty much, if it's OG, I'm probably gonna like it. Like that's probably something I'm gonna, even if I haven't tried it before, if you say it's something that's OG cannabis, then I'm gonna be interested in trying it.
Okay. Have you tried Ghost OG or Colin OG?
I haven't.
Okay.
I have not. But I hope I do. Not to mention.
Those are two you should probably try. They're pretty good. Do you have a preferred cannabinoid or terpene profile?
No, I do not. I can be honest and say I don't even know if I understand the question.
Okay. So you've heard of THC and CBD, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are called cannabinoids. Those are just two of the chemicals that the plant grows when it's producing flowers. Some of the other chemicals are called terpenes. Those are also found in nature. So did your mom ever zest a lemon in the kitchen? So you smelled that citruses. That's the terpene limonene. If you've ever cleaned the floor with pine sol, that's got pinene in it. That's also an uplifting terpene. But if you've ever walked past a field of lavender, that's got linalool in it. That's going to be relaxing. So terpenes are very much...
But even though I did not know a lot of those terms, I felt when you said lavender, it was more like a relax. But I thought of sleeping when you said it. So that's kind of cool to know. Yeah. I don't know if I have a preference. I'm kind of open to both. I don't necessarily know if I may not always think about it when I do feel maybe more energetic or something like that, or motivated. It just kind of depends on, before I smoke, what am I trying to get accomplished at that time. So I guess somewhat I feel like it's a mental thing too. But
so the mental can supersede whichever kind of cannabis is you're smoking. Once you put your mind to it, cannabis is just a tool to help you get there.
I feel like it, yeah. I feel like it assists whatever I'm trying to do at that time.
Okay.
Was just fit into that whatever mood I'm in at that time.
What kind of mood do you have to be in to create? To create?
Yeah. I just don't need the outside noise. It's just a lot goes into running the store each day. I'm also a dad of a 3-year-old. So
happy belated Father's Day.
Thank you. So that's a lot of mental space right there. So it's just, I just want to be able to concentrate. That's all I need, is to concentrate on, because even when I'm not necessarily designing, I'm always looking at something related to fashion and pulling inspiration from somewhere, or like I said, from day to day, the store. Even if I wanted to kind of take a break, I can't, because I'm within that store process of the day to day functions, and that's fashion itself. So I'm always kind of in that mode.
Where's one of the most surprising places you drew inspiration from?
That's a good question. That's a good one. Ask me that again.
What's the most surprising place you ever drew inspiration from?
I don't know if I can necessarily say a surprising place, but it can literally be, it can be within this conversation or something that you taught me. So like, I guess walking into this interview, I wouldn't normally think that I would be walking away with some inspiration. I'll let you know if something does come up to let you know. But anyway, we actually ended up being able to talk more fashion than I thought we would be, just because you have the shoes on, and shoes is a part of the game too. So that's a big part of the game to me. But I can't even draw nothing off the top of my head that really is really surprising, because it's just, I guess anything can be an inspiration. So well, I can look at like this photo here. I was already talking to Chris about the was it the robust strand? And I was telling him to send me a picture of it so we can use it later on. I have no idea what I'm gonna use it for, but it's something as simple as that. So
you could look at that image of a plant and suddenly get that spark, and that can lead you to create something.
Exactly. Even if it's not right now, I can store it for later, and I'll come back to it when it flows naturally.
Is there a well that you normally dip from for inspiration?
I like to scan Pinterest a lot, just because it's just a easy place just to see a bunch of different type of designs and stuff like that. So somehow that became a thing, and get lost in Instagram, just the explore page, and just seeing, or just like, reels are a big thing now, and it's a lot of people doing fashion reels and stuff like that. So I get inspiration from those clips all the time. So I intentionally follow people I can draw inspiration from. So if you're an artist or something, if I find myself liking your stuff, I'm gonna follow you. I actually, like, me and this guy Alex from Poser Company, found his hat on Etsy, and then I liked his hat, so I decided to look up to see if he was on Instagram. And I started liking his stuff, and he messaged me, like, he was kind of weirded out. He was like, "What's up, man? What you on?" I was like, "No, I'm just showing you love," and we've been kind of cool ever since. And like, he do a lot of cool stuff that I'm inspired by too. So
nice. Is there plans for a Hustle City fashion show of any kind?
Yes.
Aha.
Yes. It'll be when we move to our new space. That's all I want to kind of say right now.
Okay, and your new space in the Foundry is
across? It'll be across from where we're currently stationed. We're suite 125 now. I think the new space will be 122. So okay. You'll know. Maybe you should know.
Okay. Do we have any questions, Chris, from anyone out there watching?
We got to follow up on the best Chinese place. It is, we have a China King, we have a Chop Suey, we have the infamous St. Louis well-known China Man, which that can be up to anybody's discretion.
I'm gonna say the last option. Yeah, that's what we're talking.
Yes, China Man?
The China Man.
Okay.
We have a lot of compliments on the new Robust. Shout outs all over the world right now for the GOAT Embleu, as well as everyone is excited. I think one of the only questions that I want to follow up on from the crowd would be what's next?
For Embleu or Hustle?
We're gonna start with Embleu, and then we're gonna start with and go to Hustle City.
So right now I'm shifting. I'm kind of shifting my thoughts already to fall. I got a couple of video concepts that I want to roll out with the next release. I've been working on that with my friend MC Trey. We kind of been mapping that out. I'm excited for that. Because usually when I release, I like to do a rollout. I like to do a content rollout. I think that's what kind of helps us being a small fashion city, going that extra step and creating personality to your brand is a mandatory thing to do. But so I'll be working on. I like to kind of tease. So just know I'm working on fall. I can say it is going to be, it might be my best. I'm excited for it. It might be my best release, yes, but also we're gonna be collabing with you all, creating swag and introducing Phil Staten to the fashion scene. I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that. So those two things will be carrying me for the next few months, and everything we do within our store. So we're always doing new things and coming up with new ideas. Typically we do sip and shops every Saturday with peach vest mimosas. That's something that we can go back to that question. That's something that people may not know about St. Louis. We created peach vest mimosas. So that's the most St. Louis thing you can probably do right now. So
more St. Louisian than gooey butter cake?
Yep, just because it's new and fresh. Like nobody else has done that.
So peach mimosa.
The peach vest mimosa specific.
Peach vest?
Peach vest. Have you had vest?
I have not had vest.
Oh man, we gotta catch you up on St. Louis.
Yeah.
St. Louis's food scene is above.
Have you
Second to none.
Have you had Red Hot Riplets chips?
I have not had red.
All right.
I know they're
All right.
coming. We're gonna get some here in the store.
All right.
Medicated. I know that.
Oh yes, I'll let you see. But season 3, man, we coming back on, and we're gonna have basically a St. Louis palette for you.
Oh, I love
Other things you gotta try. You gotta have peach vest soda. You gotta have vest soda in general, and you gotta have Red Hot Riplets. So
Okay.
yes,
All right. Embleu.
nice.
Thank you so much, man, for being on the show. Ladies and please give a shout out, social medias, anything you want to plug here really quick.
Oh yeah. If y'all haven't started following me already, at Embleu, EMBLEU_. Within my bio, follow the store, both store pages, and follow Sanction Sneaker Collective as well. Come to my store, support St. Louis. All the clothes are St. Louis designers, including myself. So when you buy from us, you'll be supporting St. Louis. So I think St. Louis is a prideful city. So come out and show that St. Louis pride.
All right, You hear that, folks? Show your city some love. Now, next week, we're going to have Sheed with the Weed. It's going to be the last episode of season 2. Really excited. We're going to take a month hiatus, and we're going to come back. Season 3 is going to be even better. I can tease you. We are moving out of the conference room and into a studio. I'm so excited. Embleu, man, thank you again so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Check y'all later, folks.
Pamphlets will be at Hustle City if they have cannabis questions.
Pamphlets will be at Hustle City if you have cannabis questions. All right, that's it.